In this video, I am going to explain about disk attachment. That means how disks are attached to our systems. Here disks are nothing but secondary storage devices, right? So in this topic, I'll discuss how secondary storage devices like disks are attached to our computer system. Okay, so if you observe, we can connect the disks to the computer systems in three ways. First one is host attached storage, next one is network attached storage, and third one is storage area network. First, I'll explain about host attached storage. Okay, here host is nothing but computer system. Here host is nothing but our computer system. Host attached storage. In the host attached storage, the hard disk drives are connected to our system directly. Okay, so I'll explain this point with the help of an example. Let us assume that this is the computer system. Okay, so this is the computer system: monitor, keyboard, mouse, and CPU. Okay, so now here I'll write down the internal structure of CPU. Okay, here I have drawn the internal structure of CPU. So inside CPU, here we have the motherboard. Let us assume that this is the motherboard. Okay, this is the motherboard. So it is placed inside the CPU. Okay, on the motherboard I have one processor. It actually performs all the operations. Okay, all the instructions are executed by this processor actually. Okay, and this is the RAM. Okay, we know that processor takes the data from the RAM. That means it can access the data from the RAM. And here hard disks. So our hard disks are attached here. Okay, this is a secondary storage. So now in order to access the data from the hard disk, first the data from the hard disk should be moved from hard disk to the primary memory, right? Okay, so for that we should use buses, input or output buses, to connect hard disks to the motherboard. Once we have connected the hard disk to the motherboard, then the data will be moved from this motherboard to the RAM. Okay, now data is available in the RAM. So now processor can take the data and can execute the data. This is the process. If you observe, here the hard disk is also placed in our computer system. Here hard disk is placed inside the CPU. So we can call it as a host attached storage. Host is nothing but computer system, right? Here the hard disk is attached inside the CPU, right? So that's the reason it is called host attached storage. Okay, so in order to connect this hard disk to the motherboard, we will use input output buses, right? So we can use EIDE, that means enhanced integrated drive electronic bus, or we can use advanced technology attachment bus. These are the different types of buses. But if you use these two buses, then we can connect only hard disk. Let us assume that this is the hard disk 1 and this is the hard disk 2. Then only we can connect to two hard disks if you use these two buses. Okay. So if you use other buses like SATA and FC, SATA means Serial Advanced Technology Attachment. FC is nothing but fiber channel. If you use these two buses, then we can connect large number of disks. Okay, in the computer system, according to our requirement, we can place many number of hard disk. Okay, we can place 2, we can place 3, like that we can place number of hard disk based on our requirement. Okay, if you use these two buses, then you can connect only two hard disk. Okay, but if you use SATA and FC, then you can connect many number of hard disks to our system. Okay, so this is about host attached storage. In the host attached storage, the storage device is attached to our system directly. Okay, so we can call it as a local storage. We can call it as a local storage. And the next one is network attached storage. We can call it as NAS. In the network attached storage, so I'll explain this with the help of an example. Let us assume that in your office you have three systems: system 1, system 2 and system 3. And if you want to store all the data at one place, okay, if you want to store all the data at one place, In that situation, what you will do is you will not maintain individual hard disk drives. Okay, instead of that, what you will do, you will place all the hard disks in one box. Let us assume that this is a box. In this box you have placed hard disk 1 and hard disk 2 and hard disk 2, like 3. Like that you have placed many hard disks in a box. Now this box is called as a NAS. That means network attached storage. Okay, it is a box, okay, which have multiple hard disks. Now all these three systems can share the data within this NAS. Okay, so we can call it as a shared drive. So these drives are shared by all the systems, right? So we can call it as a shared drives. Okay, so now if you observe here, this box is used only for storage. Except storage, it cannot perform any other operation. Okay, this is same. Okay, this is NAS now. Okay, so now system 1, 2, 3 data is stored in NAS. Okay, some of the data is stored in NAS 1 and some of the data is stored in NAS 2. Okay, in order to connect network attached storage and systems, here we will maintain a network. It is a network. Okay, so this network is used to connect these systems and this NAS. We know that one of the network device is switch, right? So here we are using one switch. Okay, to this switch NAS 1, NAS 2 are connected and computer 1, computer 2, computer 3 are connected. Okay, these two figures are same. Okay, so here in the network I have a switch. Okay, it is a one of the networking device. Okay, so here this is a switch. Okay, to this switch NAS 1, NAS 2 are connected and C1, C2, C3. That means client 1, client 2, client 3 are connected. Now these systems can store the data in NAS and these systems can access the data from the NAS. Okay, generally NAS is used in homes and small offices because we cannot store large amount of data here. We can store some small amount of data by using the NAS. Okay, so one of the disadvantage with NAS is if there is a power failure at NAS. Now, no other system can access the data from the NAS. Let us assume that these three clients have saved some of the data in NAS 1. Now there is a power failure at NAS 1. Now these three systems cannot access its own data from the NAS. That is a problem with network attached storage. Okay, it's just a box which have multiple hard disk drives, and those drives acts as a shared drives because all the systems can access it. In order to connect these NAS and these systems, we use a network. In that network we use one of the networking device, that is switch. With this switch we can connect these NAS and the clients. Okay, this is about network attached storage. And the last one is storage area network. So if you observe storage area network, here we have a storage array. So here also we have the storage array. So compared to the network attached storage and the host attached storage, okay, in this we can store huge amount of data. Okay, we can store huge amount of data by using the storage array. That means storage area network. By using storage area network, we can store huge amount of data. And one more point is we can access the data at high speed. Okay, we can access the data which is stored in the storage area network very quickly. Okay, because here we use FC, that means fiber channels. Okay, in the storage area network we use here we use fiber channels, so we can access the data at high speed. Okay, so here if you observe in the storage area network we have storage arrays. That means actually here the data will be stored. Okay, here we have the secondary storage device. That means here we have the hard disk drives. Okay, in the storage area arrays we have hard disks. Okay, finally all the clients will store the data in the storage array. Okay, in the storage area network we have LANs and servers. LANs and servers. Okay, this is a storage area network. Storage area network connects all the storage arrays. Okay, and it will maintain a duplicate copies of data. Okay, and storage area network connects all the data and it will maintain duplicate copies also. Okay, and now if clients want to send any data to the storage area network, or clients want to access data from the storage area network, then it can access the data through servers only. Okay, if clients want to send anything to the storage area network, then it will send through the servers only. Okay, if it wants to access any data from the storage array, then it will access through the server only. Okay, so in this way clients can store the data and can access the data. And here if you observe, if there is a power failure at one storage area network, then the clients can access its data from another storage area network and another server. Let us assume that this storage array is power failure at this location, and at this server also there is a power failure. Now actually client 1, 2, 3 has stored their data in storage array. In the storage area network they have stored in storage array. Okay, once there is a power failure, then they can access their data from the another storage array, because here storage area network maintains a copy of the data. So even there is a power failure, then also they can access their data successfully. And here inside the client system, the operating system treats the storage area network as a local attachment. It treats a hard disk as a local attachment. Okay, so we can access the data very quickly. Okay, it does not, operating system does not treat it as a shared drive. Okay, it will treat it as a local attachment. That means it will treat this hard disk as it is placed inside the client. Okay, operating system treats that hard disk are placed inside the host, but actually they are placed somewhere else, but operating system treats that they are placed at the local machines and they can access it very quickly. Okay, and the storage area network is scalable. That means if you want, we can extend the storage area network without disturbing the existing network, without interrupting the existing network. What we can do is we can extend the storage area network, but it is very expensive. To implement storage area network. Okay, so this is about storage area network. If you want to store large amount of data and if you require high speed, then we go for storage area network. Here we will be having networks, servers. Okay, so even there is a power failure at one storage array or one server, we can access the data from the other storage array and other servers. This is the advantage with storage area network.